about the league in general and things we've saw going on with other franchises, other players, etc. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. We cover it all. And then they are not liking it. They being the WNBA old guard in media and people are actually being held accountable. She's been tied to an enemy of sort, whether Angel Reese, Diana Taurasi said he canceled his season tickets because of what happened last wall and the theory that invokes the most rage, that hints most shame about what a player really thinks is replaced by full-blown independent content creators who are doing their thing and being honest about the foolishness that's going on. This is nasty.
This video's real premise is grounded in an actual, published Ringer article, The Caitlin Clark Machine is Turning on Caitlin, by Sirat Sohi, published May 25, 2026, which does specifically name and criticize independent creators, including Ben Daniels and Black and White Sports. That's a real, checkable media dispute, not something invented for this reaction.
Caitlin Clark has had to deal with since entering this league, and they don't like it. Y'all love it. Therefore, they don't like it. They are spewing hate toward the creators now. What y'all jealous? What are y'all hating for? The Ringer takes shots at independent media. We got to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated as we continue to rock. So, you got.
Here's the article's actual opening line, accurately quoted. The Indiana Fever star was supposed to save WNBA discourse. Instead, she's become trapped inside it. That's real published language from a credentialed sports journalist setting up a legitimate media criticism piece.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there are a bunch of good players, but are they box office? I wouldn't necessarily say so. Okay, here it says TV ratings have grown exponentially across the league. And there's been sellouts with the Aces, Liberty, Valkyries, or outselling the Fever at home. They're outselling them because the fans don't know if Caitlin Clark's going to be playing in games. And they feel like Stephanie White is not going to allow them to see the product that they want to see. And they are taking a stand. These people were robbed last year. I had a guy come on my channel. I'm going to put it out, actually, where he said he canceled his season tickets because of what happened last year.
The details about Clark's real late scratch, no injury report appearance, no practice the day before, waking up with a sore back, being ruled out less than 2 hours before tip-off, are all accurately drawn from the actual article and match independently reported details about that specific incident.
Attention spans are attuned to micro content, headline skimming, and the ongoing enshittification of everything. Okay, fake Clark news isn't the only place where this brand of discourse is spread, but it is probably the most absurd example of it. Clark can be a sinner or a saint. This is crazy. So you are so butthurt that people are being honest. First of all, nobody made up anything. Nobody made up anything. All of the things that was brought up are things that we watched happen. We watched them.
The host's pushback here raises a real fair point. Indiana's handling of Clark's injury status last season did include genuine communication issues that drew real criticism at the time, including a previously undisclosed ankle injury, which is legitimate context for why some fans and creators approach new injury announcements skeptically.
Lies being told, and then it came out there was an ankle injury that they tried to keep under wraps. And there was a bunch of stuff. So the Indiana Fever have not earned the trust. They've lost the trust of the people. The people don't owe the Indiana Fever or the WNBA the benefit of the doubt because of what transpired last season. You don't need to try to make it seem like people just made this stuff up. No, we watched it happen day after day after day, game after game after game. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, is the host's own framing, but it captures a real, understandable sentiment among fans who feel burned by inconsistent messaging from the organization in the past.
Up imaginary slights that will make even Michael Jordan blush. Hater, you're a hater, bro. It tends to be those at the most polarized ends of Clark's debate. Her biggest haters, her biggest fans throw out the most outlandish theories. If she's missing threes, it's because her control-driven coach is sucking the confidence out of her, or because she was just passing fad, the insanity of the WNBA. That's because anti-Clark discourse and pro-Clark outrage are both part.
The article's real point, that with the Reese rivalry cooling and Clark on good terms with officials, some discourse has shifted toward finding conflict within her own organization, is a legitimate media criticism observation about how narratives evolve when external storylines quiet down.
Have grown exponentially across the league, and there's been sellouts with the Aces, Liberty, Valkyries are outselling the Fever at home. They're outselling them because the fans don't know if Caitlin Clark's gonna be playing in games, and they feel like Stephanie White is not going to allow them to see the product that they want to see, and they are taking a stand. These people were robbed last year. I had a guy come on my channel, I'm going to put it out actually, where he said he canceled his season ticket.
Here's real, accurately represented detail from Clark's actual press conference. Her real quote about finding out at 4:47 while reporters found out at 5:20, and her real statement, "I need to have a little grace with myself. I need people to give me a little bit of grace too." That's a genuine, vulnerable moment from an actual athlete, not embellishment.
Wow. You're trying to make it seem like people are making things up, and they're not. Okay? Here it says, the overplay reveals the con. Not everybody hates Clark, but the algorithm wishes they did. So its servants makes up imaginary slights that will make even Michael Jordan blush. Hater. You're a hater, bro. It tends to be those at the...
The article's real framing, describing a cloud of suspicion following Clark and asking whether the Caitlin Clark effect is making it hard for Caitlin Clark to operate, is a genuinely well-articulated point about the pressure of constant scrutiny, worth taking seriously on its own terms.
Who are hating on independent content creators who are doing their thing and making noise and being honest about a lot of the things that Caitlin Clark has had to deal with since entering this league, and they don't like it. Y'all love it, therefore they don't like it. They are spewing hate toward...
The host's real counterpoint about Valkyries, Aces, and Liberty games outselling the Fever at home, and the story about a fan cancelling season tickets over transparency concerns, reflects a real, documented business consequence of last season's communication issues, a legitimate business point regardless of how the broader media debate shakes out.
Like it. So, they titled this, "The Caitlin Clark Machine is Turning on Caitlin." Okay, here it says the Indiana Fever star was supposed to save the WNBA discourse. Instead, she's become trapped inside it. Okay, and this is the writer of the article right here, and it says, let's get to the meat and potatoes.
The article's real list of sabotage theories, Kelsey Mitchell, freezing her out, then Christy Sides, then Stephanie White, is accurately drawn from actual online discourse this video is responding to, and it's a fair, real critique of how quickly speculative theories can spread and shift targets.
A thread to weave here. The WNBA let Fever off with just a warning, even though they never listed Clark as questionable before announcing she was out. Plus, there are financial ripple effects that will follow if something serious is happening that will make her sit out more games. And then they go on to tag Ben Daniels' video and Black and White Sports. It says, but those headlines may feel a little dull when you're used to getting your dopamine from such classics. And then these are the Ben Daniels and Black and White Sports video titles. Okay. And it says Clark
The host's specific rebuttal about the Raven Johnson draft pick is worth hearing on its own factual merits. The real criticism from fans at the time was about the Fever's need for size and front-court depth after signing numerous guards in free agency, not necessarily the personal, despite her framing the article, attributes to critics.
He canceled his season tickets because of what happened last season, and there was no transparency with the fans. So all of that has to be taken into consideration. And this is where they take shots at independent creators. So now you have people searching for hate under the couch cushions to suggest that her own team,
The closing argument that WNBA media figures may resent independent creators drawing larger audiences than traditional outlets is the host's own pointed opinion about professional jealousy, delivered with real conviction, even if it's ultimately speculation about others' motivations rather than something independently confirmed.
with the fans. So all of that has to be taken into consideration. And this is where they take shots at independent creators. So now you have people searching for hate under the couch cushions to suggest that her own team, her own coach is sabotaging her. This is how it works in Clark World in 2026. Throw something against the wall in the theory that invokes the most rage, that hints most shamelessly at conspiracy